There's a lot of stuff happening around the NFL. There's some drama, actually.
What?
Yeah, we went to the TikTok, the platform that still exists.
Yep.
It has a shot clock on it, though. Has a shot clock on it. I think it's down to like 6 months. It has to be sold from the company that owns it to an American company, or I think any country's company other than China. I think, not 100% sure.
Yeah, that plays.
And TikTok will exist. It still exists right now. And Brandon Aiyuk, wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers, is currently blogging his entire situation with contract, free agency, franchise tag. The Niners have another wide receiver they drafted in the first round out of Florida. Who's going to get left out? Who's going to get paid? He's been blogging it all. In the latest clip that we have seen, I mean, this is a big one. Run it, Foxy.
Bro, look in the cam, bro. Look at the cam.
What's good? He got me vlogging this shit.
Bro.
Okay, so we're vlogging the whole thing.
What happened, bro?
They said they don't want me back. I swear.
Okay, so that's the clip that we saw, and that's Jayden Daniels, new quarterback for the Washington Commanders, who was obviously drafted in the first round to go be the quarterback of this next generation of the Commanders team. He, as a freshman quarterback at Arizona State, connected greatly with Aiyuk as the senior wide receiver at Arizona State. The relationship has obviously been closely monitored throughout this entire process, with Jayden Daniels at one point even saying he knew where he was headed in the draft. They have $45 million in cap space over there at the Washington Commanders. Is this video that I just watched on TikTok from Brandon Aiyuk's blogging of the entire thing telling me that he's going to the Commanders, AJ? Is that's what I took? Congrats to the Commanders getting Brandon Aiyuk is how I took that video right there.
Yeah, I guess there could be something to that, but I mean, it's a bit surprising to hear him say the Niners didn't want him. Like, there's no way they didn't want him, but they just don't want to offer him what he feels like he deserves. Is that what it is? It's got to be the only thing.
Did his agent tell him that they said they don't want him back? Did the offer that they made him tell him that they didn't want him back? Is the entire thought of drafting another wide receiver and not getting his deal done telling him that they don't want him back?
Giving McCaffrey more money.
Sure.
Redoing his contract to give him more money in this entire thing.
Yeah.
They have Brock Purdy on the lowest rookie salary possible for another 2 years. So are they giving money elsewhere? It's a wild video clip that we see there. And does Jayden Daniels have enough pull as a rookie quarterback in Washington to say, all right, you guys heard it. Get me Aiyuk over here. Is that what's taking place in the video? It seems like that's what I just saw.
I don't know, but I would love it. I would love Aiyuk going over there, get paired up with Terry McLaurin, give Jayden Daniels. It'll be similar to what's going on in Chicago, putting all those weapons around Caleb to be successful early. It makes sense, from a game. You're obviously going to be locked into that Daniels contract for the next few years of the rookie deal. Bring a talent like this over, and all those things you mentioned, you get to this point in the league, you kind of start reading that writing on the wall. You're drafting this guy, you're paying that guy, and then maybe he did have a direct conversation with the team just saying, hey, you know what? He just probably doesn't fit into our future plans. But I am surprised that he let this clip out at this point. I feel like this is probably something that you put out after the fact, but it's a new day and age.
Yeah, it might be leverage trying to be gained by Aiyuk to let the entire world know, hey, I am very available if you want to make a play. Or maybe they're talking about a friend group in town.
True.
Sure.
That's possible. And it won't me.
And Jayden Daniels was like, thank God I knew this other group was this mucky duck group is the right group out of San Francisco as opposed to the one. But all indications is Aiyuk isn't happy in San Fran. And now seemingly San Fran isn't happy with Aiyuk in San Fran. This is wild. And can he come to the Colts, I guess? Is that just something
what would have to happen? What's the team have to do to try to get Aiyuk? What would they have to do?
He would have to sign franchise tag, and then they would have to trade. But then there would also have to be a deal done and an exchange to the Niners of some sort because with the franchise tag, you owe them. Now, that is all negotiable. Because at one point we heard, well, it's going to take 2 ones if you want to trade a franchise tag player. So how much do you want somebody? And then we learned quickly, that's not real. That is a negotiable thing. There just says that there has to be something that has to take place.
Yeah, it's the same situation as L'Jarius Sneed, right? Where everyone thought that L'Jarius Sneed was going to get moved for a ton of stuff, and then it was a second and a fifth or a second and a fourth to go to Tennessee, and then immediately got his new deal. So you assume that would be the case, but it is going to be crazy when it comes through because if this is real, and even though it was reported that they offered him a contract of $26.5 million or whatever per year, and who knows the guarantees and all that, so I don't know if they don't want him per se,
Low
but
ball.
maybe they told him that.
Is it though?
That's a low ball because he's a number one wideout. Even on that team, he's clear cut the number one.
Pippen
wide.
got like what, 23?
27 a year,
Sure.
and then
I think
everybody
average.
else, is 30 and up at this point. Amara. Everybody else that got paid. So I think at this now, depending on when they offer that, if it was before Pittman's deal, maybe not such a low ball offer. But once again, you kind of know what that market is. If you're a number one receiver, if you're a number one corner, and when this type of shit starts happening, now that price obviously drops. Now we know we don't have to give, just like with Snead. Yeah, he was probably the best corner in football wire to wire last year, but you knew the Chiefs he weren't going to be in the financial plans going forward.
So if they is the Niners. They said they don't want me back. Is a pretty powerful statement.
It is.
It is, yes.
And the fact that it was just released because he is blogging that shit.
Right.
That is a message to you. Block that shit. Okay, that is a message to every team. Like, hey, listen, come and get me. This is a situation. I'll be excited to see where he ends up. I mean, any team that gets Brandon Aiyuk is going to be pumped at this point.
Yeah. New England.
There's
Any team
Well, the Niners want him for 1 year. They want him for 1 year on the franchise tag. That's what they want him, right?
Bingo. But also, you can probably get something in return, and they probably feel as if they have a plethora of wide receivers. So if they said they don't want him back now, why would you say that before the year? I don't know.
Yeah.
That feels like a bet. Hey, Aiyuk, we'll see you at training camp. Also, we don't want you here.
Yeah.
So you can come, obviously, because you're scheduled to fine, but also we don't want you. Like, that has to be an indicator that this thing is all but sailed down the river.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, we talked about this as guys started to get re-signed, their deals got reworked. It's like, okay, that was the assumption on draft night when they draft a receiver, but then you pay Juwan Jennings, you redo McCaffrey's deal. It's like, okay, yeah, he's not in the plans going forward, because if they really did value him as a number one receiver, they would have gotten this done a while ago.
Phenomenal football player.
Yes.
Phenomenal football player. Any team that gets him, obviously, people understand that you're going to have to pay him. That means your salary cap still has money, which there's a lot of teams that still have some wiggle room. And if you pick up Brandon Aiyuk, your fan base is going to be pumped. He knows that he's walking into a parade from somewhere, wherever he heads to. Good luck to all parties involved, including the Indianapolis Colts.
Come on, Patriots.
Come on.
Bring him in.
Jayden Daniels said it's a block, pretty much his response, that they're going to the Commanders. Maybe that's how they take it away.